The Silent is a mysterious card, connected with the esoteric principles of secrets and the metaphysics of sound. The kanji symbol at the top of this card is Sai, meaning calm, quiet, or still in Japanese. Her mouth is obscured by the collar of her dress. This covering of the mouth, symbolic of silence, and since this character does not speak, some have suggested that the entity itself is mute. She also wears a somewhat trapezoidal hat, of which her long serpentine hair flows outwards in front of. This is in some ways similar to the shent, or double crown of ancient Egypt, showing a combination of upper and lower Egyptian crowns, topped with a uraeus, the symbol of a serpent suggestive of sovereignty and royalty. This is important here as the shent was often worn by the god Horus, of whom was adapted for the Greek god of silence, Harpocrates, whose name means Heru par Kehered, Horus the child. Harpocrates is shown covering his lips or mouth in the sign of silence, just as referenced here on the silent card. The sign of silence and secrecy is thought to have been born as a misunderstanding of the original Egyptian symbols, but nevertheless this sign speaks volumes and is widely used in Gnosticism and Hermeticism. Here we can see Aleister Crowley giving the sign, his face also obscured to represent secrecy and mystery. It asks the seeker to be mindful of the things they have learned and witnessed in their great work of occultism, and to keep true the secret meanings and knowledge of which they have learned. Likewise, silence here is a representation of the higher self, of the world above the chatter of the mind and the physical world, connected with the meditation and therefore communion with the holy guardian angel on planes of ascended consciousness. This sign of silence may also be concerned with warnings given in occult literature, such as the famous Tunis comment as seen in Aleister Crowley's Book of the Law. In this work, Harpocrates is described as the babe in the egg of blue, and one can clearly see this symbol depicted upon the silent card. This is the winged knef, a symbol similar to the Orphic egg. As described by Manly P. Hall, the egg also represents the soul of the philosopher, the serpent, the mysteries of the cosmos. At the time of his initiation, the shell is broken and man emerges from the embryonic state of physical existence, wherein he had remained through the fetal period of philosophical regeneration. The symbolism of silence is therefore the protected natal state of being inside the egg, an unseen world of secrets, concealing within it the very mysteries of life itself. As read in the Egyptian Book of the Dead, the solar god exclaims, "I am the creative soul of the celestial abyss. Nobody sees my nest, and none can break my egg, for I am the Lord." Sound and silence play an important role in occult ceremony, and just as though the silent card can remove anything of which produces sound or cut off the voice of a living being, we understand that waves of which create the energy of sound require the observer to translate them into a form of which we can understand. Even right at this moment, my vocal cords are producing vibrations and waveforms, of which in this instance are captured via electronic means, to then be picked up by your ears and translated within your brain into something of which you understand as sound. Some go further in this, to conclude that reality itself may require the observer to manifest, that the unobserved world is one in constant flux and in the form of waves and frequencies rather than what we see as physical. The silent holds her arm in a shape of which shows a downward pointed arrow, of which is reminiscent of the square, and she also holds her hand to her left-hand side, a symbol of which will become clear momentarily. The square is essentially two equal flat-edged metal or wooden arms fixed so that they form a perfect right angle or 90-degree angle. In Freemasonry, this tool and the symbol of it is used to teach one to square our actions by the square of virtue with all mankind. It can also be taken, when combined with the compasses, to be a representation of the Hermetic doctrine of as above, so below, or the conjoining of opposites. Freemasonry is of course a fraternity which is deeply connected with secrecy and silence. During the rite of the entered apprentice, the senior deacon issues the following warning to the fledgling mason. On entering this lodge for the first time, I receive you on the point of a sharp instrument, pressing your naked left breast, which is to teach you, and is a torture to your flesh. So should the recollection of it ever be to your mind and conscience, should you accept to reveal the secrets of masonry unlawfully. Herein lies the secret of the silence card, for it gives us the same instruction as the senior deacon to the one of whom draws it. It may be asking us to remain silent and uninvolved with a particular situation, to not dive in feet first with a barrage of sound, opinion, debate, etc., which cannot be unheard once it has entered the sphere of consciousness. It could also be suggesting a place of quietude, a withdrawing from the noise of the world to commune with that inner self, of which therefore within we may find the answers of which we seek, hiding within the secrecy of our own minds.